Hey everybody, I'm going to take a look at this practice kind of study guide packet that I gave you, and I want to work through each problem using, well, I just want to give you video solutions, even though I've typed out solutions, because I'm just finding that a lot of different ways of attacking problems seems to be helpful for people. So I'm just going to begin with this first problem. So we have this object traveling around a circle of radius 2 meters. It's got a speed of 4 meters per second. We want to know its acceleration. And we also want to know the net force on it. And what I want to ask you to do is, whenever you see problems like this, get really clear on some things. So that's clear that that's the radius, but this right here, everybody, we got to get careful on this. Like this meters per second, if I ask you what this is, I have a feeling that at least half of you would hesitate and not be clear on whether this is velocity or acceleration. And it's velocity, and you know that because it's meters per second. And I want to remind you that acceleration has units of meters per second squared. Velocity has units of meters per second. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't tell you this. I don't tell you on tests, which is fine if you get an answer that's one of these and you don't remember. But when I'm giving you a problem, you got to be really careful because I don't tell you, and then you got to remember whether this is V or whether it's A. Now, I'm going to ask you what the acceleration is, and I'll just tell you right now, here's the given formula. The given formula is that A centripetal is V squared divided by the radius. That I'll actually give you. So when you want to plug in your numbers, the math here isn't revolutionary math. It's just a question of putting in 4 and squaring it and dividing it by the radius, and you'll get 16 divided by 2. And that will be 8, again, meters per second squared. So that's the acceleration, and that's fine. Really, the issue, though, is to make sure that you got everything in the right place. Like if you thought this was an acceleration and you're panicking on the test, you might have plugged it in here, and that's just not going to work, so you got to be super careful. Now, the next thing we want to do is we want to get the net force on it. So I actually give you another formula in the formula sheet, which is that the net force is m times the centripetal acceleration. That's when you're moving in a circle. And so that's just going to be a question of plugging in the mass, which is 3, and the acceleration, which is 8, right here, and there's the mass, m. Okay. Be really careful. I've seen people think that this is actually the weight of the object, and it's not. It's the mass. We're going to end up getting 24 newtons worth of force. So that's the solution to the first problem in this study guide.